Hi, you guys. The only thing I come to the table with today, as well as great gratitude and, prayers for a spirit to just hang with us for the course of this, and with you and me for the rest of the day. With everybody who has ears to hear, and maybe especially those who don't. I did not plug in my camera, my mic. I'm going to do that because, hang on just a second. And this is not a setup, you guys. This is actually how it is sometimes. On Slipstream. There we go. The magic of television. There we go. Oof. The idea that, lingered with me this morning was just overcompensation. Like, both on our parts and it seems like on the part of the powers that be. I've been feeling up until fairly recently like things were really stuck and static and just nothing was happening. The status quo just rolled out day after day, and the same problems, the same pleasures, the same, with a certain degree of depression plus, there's something in the consistency that's kind of comforting to be stuck somehow. Nothing's changing, so you don't have to change, blah, blah, blah. Well, just the other day, a bunch of, it's like overcompensation. It's like suddenly a buckshot of change. And, in sort of every quadrant. So I imagine us constituting a collective here. And, like we're human beings. This is how it happens sometimes. Everything goes at once. In this area and that area and that area, and it's like you're trying to stamp out the little brush fires that are going to grow if you don't. And then at a certain point, or throughout the process, there's periodic times of surrender where you just stop thrashing, and that's sort of the slipstream. Then you go with the current. You go with the current. King of Cups. Water energy. Slipstream, the current, right? Like surrendering to what you feel, just letting that carry you forward. I don't know where the status quo business fits in with that, but wow, 10 of Cups. Wow. If King of Cups could create a world, and maybe has created a world, with this kind of happiness for everybody. It's not like I'm happy at your expense, or vice versa, in any dynamic within this group. And it may just be two people, but we see here a child with them, and the fawn over the woman's shoulder. It's like man, woman, child, bird, and beast. We have the birds there as well. And the fish. It's like, anyway, 6 of Pentacles. 9 of Pentacles. This is somebody who's self-sufficient, who can go it alone, who has enough. So this is sort of, everybody gets to drink from the cup. It's like a communal loving cup. And this is more about my independence, my stability, by myself. I think that's the highest expression of love this King of Cups could feel, is that it's existent in the group, and it's existent when you're by yourself for yourself. Because you're never really by yourself. Again, the big cat and the little bird in a place where somehow nobody's consuming anybody else, you know, the self is intact. King of Cups could love in a big way, bigly, this single individual, perhaps a Virgo. That's one, version of the story. Bottom of the deck, 6 of Pentacles. When that 9 of Pentacles first popped out, I thought it was the 6. That's again the reciprocal energy. I've got something for you, you've got something for me. It's balanced, it's sacred. It's rare, white buffalo. Really rare. I'd like to believe it's everywhere. And this would suggest, yeah, in some ways it is everywhere. But in 3D, when do you get that even Steven? The truth is it's never even Steven. We don't have the identical things to give to each other. The timing isn't identical. Whatever the exchange is, it's of value in both directions. Nobody feels shortchanged. That comes under 10 of Cups. And it landed on the table. Position number 1, the card just landed there. Ace of Pentacles. That's, establishing through effort and intention this new beginning. It's sort of like, I believe that we can do this. We can build it from where we are now into this exceptional relationship. I feel like I talk like a robot sometimes, and basically the message so far is like, yay, Oh my God, under 9 of Pentacles, 4 of Wands. Card of union, coming together, celebration. There's an opportunity for that. Seems to me we'd be nuts not to recognize it for what it is. Pentacles energy, what it is. It's not like a flash in the pan. It's not like a mirage. You can see somehow from the very beginning, this sounds like a fairy tale, that this is viable. Clarifying that, please. 5 of Pentacles. Pentacles energy, a card of not having enough. Or let's put it this way, scraping by. Just enough resources to sustain yourself. That's sort of how I felt in some ways up until, fairly recently. And, it's as if once I got one thing to the point where I felt like I had enough, something else would, some other area of my life would just, like the tire would deflate. Anyways, it's almost like the cupboard is bare, or the car is broken, or you've run out of heating oil and it's still snowing outside. On 4 of Wands, 10 of Swords. I think something ends, in order for this to happen. And it's almost like something is sacrificed in order for this to happen. Something is sacrificed. I'm not sure. We'll clarify that in a minute. But it's the closing out of a painful cycle, but somehow that's also, maybe it's painful because it involves giving up on something, on a situation, on a relationship, on this hope for balance, or maybe all the positive things we've seen thus far are able to come into being when this Ten of Swords happens. Both clarifiers are cards that hurt. So let's keep going. Okay, on King of Cups, we have the Star card. Somebody the other day, a lot of readers do this, and I just never read it that way, but see this card as indicating distance. The star is there, you can see it, but it guides you on a journey, indicating, don't give up. This is ahead. Keep going. And it could suggest a literal distance. It's a card of Aquarius, of great clarity, of great fairness, of balance, of also the new thing, the innovative way to live or be connected to other people. We have 2 10s on the board, is 20. 20 in Major Arcana is Judgment, which is that second chance, that the opportunity for something new that we can build on, something that feels secure, and that makes us feel secure. It doesn't undermine our sense of self. Wow, a lot of Major Arcana suddenly. The Moon. A water energy card. Cancer. Major Arcana. Can signify what's not conscious yet. It exists in the dreamscape, in the moon energy, like in High Priestess behind the veil. Things aren't clearly seen or known. What gives the unconscious a chance to do its thing, show us the foreimage somehow of what's to come through a glass darkly. It's not like a message that you can interpret really with your brain. It's something you get as an intuitive hit, and sometimes when you're unconscious, that subconscious, things come up, and we have all the moon symbols on the pillars. Like this has to do with, all the pentacles have to do with time. This has to do with another measure of time that's cyclical. Moon involved in this solar eclipse. Okay. It might be a timing card to Cancer. I'm not big on timing, but there are a lot of pentacles here, which I think this one speaks to a long stretch of, that feeling nothing's happening in my life that I was talking about. It's status quo and it sucks, basically. It's hard going. Tell us about this. Well, I like that. 5 of Pentacles plus Ace of Pentacles, they're right next to each other, is 6 of Pentacles. The next card in line. So there's this sort of progressive growth over time. I think, somebody's put in the time, like almost in that prison term feel. Because this is like in isolation, by yourself, trying to come up with the resources. It worked. The Moon, the mystical power of attraction. The visionary, the divine feminine. On 6 of Pentacles, High Priestess, divine feminine again. Again with the water. Cancer now, Cancer, Pisces, some people say Libra, a little bit of Virgo. I mean, it's all the aspects to me of the divine feminine. In that cyclical energy that's both inside and outside of time. On 10 of Cups. I think what you're feeling is behind the curtain. What you're sensing is there with your spidey sense. Is there. It may be at a distance, but the light is there. X marks the spot. Somebody knows, the dream come true, like the dream. The dream catcher, the dream come true. This 10 of Cups. On 6 of Pentacles. Tower. Just like you see it with your own eye. This is a card of great power, explosive power. I see it as a card of Scorpio, but, in that sense of dramatic change. That's on 6 of Pentacles. Some old way of doing it is, some old way of doing it. For a long time, out in the cold, feeling like you're scraping by. This could be money, too. Pentacles do speak to money or things of value, what makes you feel secure. What you have to work for. Sorry, I should wear a hairnet. It's not this way. It's 6 of Pentacles. It's sharing resources. But there's something about that is just, it blows the top off something. And it may be that the change, I'm almost getting like when divers change, go up too fast, they can get the bends. It's bubbles in the blood. It's very dangerous to change levels quickly. And there might be something about changing, like I said, everything changing all at once for me, everything everywhere all at once. To go into an abundant, equal exchange when you've been out in the cold a long time, when you've gotten used to it. And suddenly the white buffalo of it's a miracle. This miraculous thing is born that portends great blessings. I believe in Native American culture, the white buffalo was like what you waited for. It was the Great Spirit blessing you with a creature, 1 in a million. And this is a kind of blessing. I need to get one more on Tower because, well, it certainly breaks up that status quo business. I mean, there's no more of that. It's like we'll reinvent it as we go. And it takes away any obstacles to this a coming together, to look, the single person who is good on their own is going to be approached by, it seems to me, some King of Cups who knows that that this 9 of Pentacles is like the physical representation, pentacles, that they're guided to that place. It's the holy place. That they're attracted there. They're guided there. Feminine principle of water, pulling it in, of the feminine principle of the moon. The moon pulls on the water, on those feelings, energies. So that I had one question, which was, let's ask about the ending. The sacrifice that must be made in order to get to this 4 of Wands. I mean, I was going to say, because this is a card of choice, you have to sacrifice choosing to remain in sadness. I'm not sure that's quite it. Because this is a card of balance. That 6 of Pentacles, balance. And also of the underground thing, like in that moon card, the unconscious thing coming, appearing above ground. And I think this painful cycle, this way of thinking, of being in the world, you have to give up in order to come into this place of union. It's like, it's a card of choice. You sort of have to choose a life. This can be considered the widow energy, crying over the loss, stuck there, despite these 2 of Cups that represents the connection. 2 and 2 is 4. 4 in Major Arcana is Emperor. Yeah, we're going to get 3 more, I think 3 more, over here to clarify King of Cups star. Star is also a card of healing. Knight of Wands. Somebody's really motivated. They're fired up to come in, and come in fast and passionately. Eight of Pentacles. This is a card of doing the work. And again, that cyclical moon energy aspect. You know, many moons to get to this place. Having to find it. But really with a drive and a passion, Knight of Wands. You know, it's something's all of a sudden ignited. And in a weird way, I'm almost seeing like the Pentacles being the gas. You know, like the stored energy in the battery or in the fossil fuel. Drawing on that stored, you know, kind of, not kinetic, but potential energy. Work that's been put in, work that's been done. And one more. Justice. What a lovely way to wrap it up. Balance, truth, clarity, card of Libra. Balance in 3D, and you know, on that deep level that we all share and know to be true. You know, there's a certain level, we all share a story. We all share the story. Share it. I think that's it. Yeah, thank you guys for being here. On the board we have the moon, which is Cancer, High Priestess, Cancer, Pisces, Libra, a bunch of other stuff. And Libra is on the table in Justice card. Aquarius in the star. Scorpio in Tower. That's it. You know, everything says moving, you know, following the guides out of, I think both parties were in this place. You know, really lonely, really thinking, how long can I go on like this? And evidently, the distance is closing. And the destination, this Four of Wands, where you travel equal distance to the reunion place, is underway. There's been a choice somehow to sacrifice sadness. And it's hard to let it go. You can feel like you're, you know, if you let sadness over something that happened to you go, you know, you're letting go of the last remnant thing of that whatever it was you lost. And if I actually heal from it, then I've well and truly lost the, you know, it's almost like the last sweetness you need to suck out of the sadness. Well, that's done. We don't need to do this anymore. We're on our way to something better. 10 of Cups. I want to linger here, but I don't think we're supposed to linger. I think we're supposed to accept the growth and get on it. Jump on it. I'll see you next time once I get this clicker to cut me off. Here we go.